Oh, yeah. I really did forget about this.
What's up guys, Lou here back with another video, but before we get into today's episode, I want to give a shout out to a show I got to take part in. It's called Uploaded. It's on the Starbucks Double Shot channel. They came into the studio, went behind the scenes, asked me the hard-hitting questions, and came out with something cool. So I'll drop a link in the description so you can go check out that video after you're done watching this one. Charge!
Have you ever wondered, why do ballpoint pens have a little hole on the side? It turns out there is a good reason for it. For example, if you're traveling on a plane and the air pressure changes, without this little hole, your pen could ruin your trip by leaking in the pocket of your favorite jacket, or literally exploding. Often, we don't realize how thoroughly thought through the technologies behind some objects that we use on an everyday basis are. Even a common pen has a couple of secrets. So, here are 10 everyday things with unexpected functions. Let's get it on. The little hole in the side of a pen. Without this hole, a pen would be completely airtight, and if that were the case, as you write and use the ink, the pressure would fall, preventing the ink from flowing to the tip. In highlands or on a plane where the air pressure is lower, a pen with no hole could leak or even explode. So this tiny little hole helps to equalize the pressure inside the core and the ambient pressure. This way the ink doesn't leak, screwing up your outfit. An extra piece of fabric. The vast majority of people think that clothes manufacturers put this extra piece of material so you could make a patch when needed, but its actual purpose is completely different. They put it there for you to wash it in the washing machine and see how it reacts with detergent or bleacher.
Barbie size now! How am I supposed to wear that?
We bet you've always been wondering why there is so little fabric if it's not enough for a proper patch. Well, now you know. You're welcome. The little hole in the pen cap. Probably many of you have been wondering why there's a little hole in the lid of a pen. It would be a stretch to call it a brilliant design solution, but it turns out to be really practical. First, when you close the pen, without this hole the cap would create extra pressure, which would push the ink out at the point, so the pen wouldn't even write. Besides, in case of an accidental swallow, the cap could end up in the trachea, and it would cause an immediate asphyxia if it wasn't for this hole. It lets some air pass to the lungs, so you can breathe until doctors extract the allergenic thing out of your body. What a miracle. How such a small hole saves hundreds of lives around the world. Little hole in the padlock. Many padlocks have a little round hole right by the keyhole. Let's find out why it's there. First, it is necessary when you have to pour the oil to grease the inner mechanism if it's stuck. And secondly, it works as a drain if there's ever water in the padlock. For example, after rain. If your lock doesn't have a hole, then it's to be used indoors, or it's made from rust-proof material and is completely hermetic. Dimple in the bottom of a wine bottle. Hunt wasn't originally made on purpose and owes its existence to a mere imperfection of the art of glass blowing. In order for the bottle to stand, its bottom has to be absolutely plain, and it is no easy task, so they decided to push the bottom inside. This indent is really important in the bottles for sparkling wine. It distributes the inner pressure more smoothly, reducing weight on the seam between the bottom and the side of the bottle. Had it no punt, the bottle would simply explode. And well, it's also about the looks. Expert sommeliers used to put their thumb in the dimple while pouring out the wine. look so classy and cool. Soda can tabs. Apart from the first and most obvious use of the soda can tab, there is another one which is not so widely known. Once you open the can, try to turn the tab and put your straw in the hole. There you go. Now it's fixed in this position, and you can enjoy your drink without amusing your friends anymore by trying to catch the straw with your mouth. The blue side of an eraser. There is a school legend that tells the blue part of an eraser is meant to erase what was written with pen. But if you've ever tried, you should know that this is bullshit. This way you only get dirt and holes in your notebook. Then what's it for? Well, it turns out it has its purpose, but it's just a bit different. With the blue side, you can erase what is written or drawn with pencil, but on heavy weights of paper. That's why it's gritted. The soft side just won't do it. The bump at the end of a laptop cable. You sure saw this weird cylindrical thing on your laptop cord, and it's there for a reason. It's called a ferrite bead, and what it does is reduce all kinds of interference in the cable. Its construction is quite simple. For a ferrite ring, the wire is simply wrapped around the ferrite core through the center, typically 5 or 7 times. The hole in airplane windows. In order to make a proper porthole, they use several panes of strong transparent plastic, which form a kind of insulated glazing. These windows bear huge pressure and currently are made of high-strength acryl plastics. The inside pane is usually made of less expensive plexiglass than the outer two, so it's less solid, but it is useful for sound and heat insulation, also creating an air gap between the two panes of glass. So the hole has to do with pressure regulation, because in case of a significant pressure difference, one of the panes would simply break. This little hole, also called the breather hole, balances the pressure by taking the air away from the gap between the panes, or vice versa. Jeans rivets. At first sight, jeans rivets look like a cool decoration thing, and nowadays it is actually so. But it was not always like this. Originally, they were made up in order to reinforce the weak parts of the pants. In 1853, Levi Strauss started making overalls from canvas for American gold diggers and miners. When he ran out of canvas, Strauss began to use softer blue denim. He wasn't so strong though, and the pockets kept ripping under the weight of gold nuggets. Wow, they must have been carrying a lot of gold, bastards. Well, okay, moving on. They have been trying to solve this problem for 20 years in a row, but one day in 1872, a tailor called Jacob Davis found a solution: copper rivets. They were there to reinforce the points of stress, such as pocket corners, and at the bottom of the button fly. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks, and we'll be right back to you as fast as we can.
Well, that's what one of my clients told me. I don't think she made it up. Oh, that was Angelina will kill her.
Baxter's presents 15 women you won't believe exist. Number 1.
See? I told you
Jasha
that's the one that's on the movie with her.
This hairdresser from the Ukraine has gone above and beyond to make herself look just like a Japanese anime character. She lost weight so that she could weigh just 90 pounds. She stands 5 feet 2 inches tall. She wanted to be as thin as possible because the Japanese anime characters are very petite. She dyed her hair a vivid color red, uses powder to make herself look pale, and she has adopted a Japanese name. It takes her over 2 hours to get her makeup just perfect so that she can look as much like a Japanese anime as possible. She even uses round contacts to give her eyes the famous anime appearance. After her transformation, she gained several followers on YouTube. In the past, she turned herself into Miley Cyrus and Angelina Jolie, among others. Number 2. Joanna Quas. Joanna Quas was born on November 20, 1925, and she is the world's oldest active gymnast. She continues to do this because she loves gymnastics. Not only does she still do gymnastics, she coaches as well. The Guinness Book of World Records has her listed as the oldest gymnast in the world.